Oh, hi everyone. Oh, wow. My throat is a lot worse than I was expecting it. So, yeah, my throat's a little bit raspy today, mainly because I just did some auditions beforehand and I didn't do my vocal stretches before I had to do a lot of yelling. So terrible of me. Why would I do something like that? I really need to start doing vocal warm ups before I do scenes where I have to yell in an angry voice. When I have to yell angrily, it really hurts my throat because I don't get angry that much. Actually, I don't really get angry at all. So when I have to get angry yell, it's hard to do. Well, not hard to do, but it's hard on the throat. So we're gonna do a lot of reading too. That'll be fun. Ahoy, Casita! Before I didn't get Zelda's Link Awakening just quite yet, so I put it up to a vote on what I should stream list from the list of games that have been recommended to me. And it was a close one. It was between Doki Doki Literature Club and Sea of Thieves, but Doki Doki Literature Club won by one vote. So we're going to start on Doki Doki Literature Club. I've never played this game. I know very, very little about it. Like, I only know about basically one person in the game because of all the memes. But I don't know anything about this game. Like, for real, I don't really know anything about this game. So this will be exciting and fun to have a first-time experience of this. Oh, boy. Alright, let's just hop right into it. Aunt Pez. Alright, so normally I do the voice acting, but I can't really do it since how my throat is, so I'll do the best that I can. So here we go. Hey! Oh god, I can't go high. I can't go high. I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl, oh god, names, Sayora, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today. But it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayora catch up to me. I can't do a girl's voice because my throat hurts. I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Aunt Pez. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean, if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayora. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Aunt Pez, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. Huh? That's not true. You told me you wanted to join a club this year. I sound like a smoker. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayara likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried about you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. I don't need to socialize in college. Who needs a social life in college? Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're used to a real world. The fuck's a NEET? You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright, alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside her of her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayara wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. The best club. Hello? Sayara? Sayara must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, no what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayora. I'll turn up my game a little bit. There we go. Yeah! There's no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayara is vice president of the literature club. Oh yeah, I definitely don't want to go to that club. I'm terrible at literature. Why would I want to go to that? Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. I agree. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. That sounds like a you problem. But I'm interested in cupcakes. Don't make promises you can't keep. But I want a cupcake. So give me a cupcake, and then maybe I'll consider literature club. You can always bribe me with food. Food is the easiest way to bribe me. I can't tell if Sayara is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I'm trying to figure out a good place to move my mic, too. Since I'm playing on the computer. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. That way, I don't have to constantly try to look at my mic to make noise. Alright. I gotta make sure everything else is set up though. Because whenever I move my mic, it messes with everything else. Okay. There we go. I let out a long sigh. Fine. I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, we're getting the cupcake! That's the only thing that matters, is the cupcake. Yes, let's go! And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. Now remember, your soul isn't fully sold until you eat the last bite of the cupcake. We're playing this by Simpsons rules, right? where if I don't eat the entire cupcake, my soul is still intact. I dejectedly follow Sayara across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third year and class activities. Sayara, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone! The new member is here! I told you don't call me a new member. Huh? I glanced around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayara always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Oh, Aunt Pez, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Their small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. And she was also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayara. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayara says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyways, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayara and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Aunt Pez. Monica smiles sweetly. Hi. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica's probably the most popular girl in the class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so generally feels a little... Hey, you too, Monica. Come sit down, Aunt Pez. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayara mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayara. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabbed a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayara. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Ooh! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. Aw, that's adorable. The whiskers are drawn with icings, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. Aw, that sounds so cute. I want some. I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayara grabs one first, then Monica, and I follow. It's delicious! Sayara talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like I... Haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything? I thought you technically did. Sayara said, well, maybe. Not for you. You dummy. Alright, alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismissive conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I mean, tea helps me in general. Actually, I should probably make myself some tea. I should probably make myself some tea for my throat. I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow and smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? Cupcakes, and only cupcakes. If you want me to be in this literature club, I need cupcake every time I come. I'm sold on food. But if you make a very good tea, then I might join too. I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayora. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayora seemed really happy here, so... That's okay. Don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you fit right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member of any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then, I'm surprised there aren't many people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Yeah, I get that feeling. It took me a while to stream and do voice acting, so I get that. My problem is once I actually start, like, my thing is I can start on something, I can put a lot of effort into starting it, and then it's a matter of just sticking to it. I don't know whose number this is. I forgot to put my thing on Do Not Disturb too, so. As my phone rings in my butt, because I am sitting on my phone. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. Yeah, that really doesn't ever catch my attention. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes schools' events like festivals that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though, I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Ampes, what kind of things do you like to read? Manga, Disney books. And what I mean by Disney books is apparently... Okay, so there's these Disney books that are the movies, but they do more of like what ifs. So like one of them is like, what if Sleeping Beauty never woke up? Another one is, what if Jafar got the lamp? That's the one I'm currently reading. My god, that is such a good one. I highly recommend checking them out. They're called Twisted Tales. So if you're interested in Disney books and want some like alternative version of Disney books, definitely check out Twisted Tales. They are amazing. Considering how little I've read these past few years, which is also true for me, I don't really have a good way of answering that, which is also true. Manga, yes, that figures. Yes, yes, Panda Soul. I highly recommend checking out Twisted Tales series. There's like, I think there's like 8 of them right now. There's Sleeping Beauty, Aladdin, Mulan, Beauty and the Beast, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan. I bought like almost all of them. The Frozen. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me go grab them really quick. Okay, so here are the Twisted Tale books. There's Sleeping Beauty, which is what if the Sleeping Beauty never woke up? There's Beauty and the Beast, which is what if Belle's mother cursed the beast? There's Mulan, which is what if Mulan had traveled to the underworld? There's Peter Pan, which is what if Wendy first traveled to Neverland with Captain Hook? There's Snow White, which is what if the evil queen poisoned the prince? There's Little Mermaid, which is what if Ariel had never defeated Ursula? And then there's Frozen, which is what if Anna and Elsa never knew each other? And then there's Aladdin, which is what if Jafar got the lamp first? So they're really good. I highly recommend checking them out. I enjoy them a lot. Natsuke's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. The Little Merman. I don't think they have the Little Merman. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that could change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyways, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. Yuri, I thought I liked you for a reason. I like Yuri a lot. I think it's the purple hair. And now it's novels. I like you, Yuri. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her lies light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But, you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Okay. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination and completely throw you in the loop? Yeah. Plot twist. I do like that. Anyways, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Yuri! I like you a lot. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at a minimum level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Leo! Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuke's eyes darted over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuke? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last class meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! Give that back! Fine, fine. Your cupcakes, your poems. Everything you do is just as cute as you are. settles up behind Natsuki and puts her hand over her shoulders. I am not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. Is Granny teaching high school girls? Okay, I'm not trying to do my Granny voice. It's hard. It's hard to do feminine voices when my throat hurts. Give me a break. You know what's funny is how my throat hurts, but the Granny's voice doesn't hurt. You wouldn't like them. That's not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe you share some of your work, you can send an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I want to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. That sounds like a terrible idea because I can't write for shit. The next time we'll meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. No, let's not do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Aunt Piz? Tall lady! Very nice. Did you die? Or did you survive? Hold on, there's still one problem. Huh? What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. Very nice, Nexus. Very nice. I never said I would join this club. Sayora may have convinced me to stop by because you all offered me cupcakes and I'm easily bribed with food, so there's that. But I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. Yeah, that would looking at all those, that would make me feel pretty bad too. I was playing Breath of the Wild yesterday and I have a death counter too. Nice! Very nice. I haven't been able to finish Breath of the Wild. It's too open world for me. But one day I might play it and stream it and hopefully finish it. So far, I'm loving Yuri. Yuri is the one I like the most. I care about Yuri. Got a jet for a bit, Captain. Food needs to be made. Fair enough, Nexus. Thank you again so much for the raid. I hope your food is yummy and scrumptious. And yeah. I'm sorry. I thought... Aunt Pez... you all... I'm defenseless against these girls. It's true. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? You don't. That is if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay. I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes! I'm so happy! Sayara wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. if you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Natsusuke, I got some bad news for you. I only came for the cupcakes. He'd be a harem wannabe. Yes, it's my PNG of me as a pirate, because I can't really dress up like a pirate as much anymore, mainly because of the headset. It's hard to wear a pirate's hat and a headset. So I went with the PNG instead. It's so much easier. I also have like 3 other ones too. But those are for redeeming. And I don't know if I could do those, especially with how my throat is, but we'll see what happens if they get redeemed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the Literature Club. Aww, thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remembers tonight's assignment. Write a poem. I'm gonna try something really quick. I was trying something out really quick. I'll probably do it at the end. Mana looks over at me once more. Anpez, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside of me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsusuke clean up their food. Hey, Anpez, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? Sure. Am I going to get more cupcakes? That's right. Sarah and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure. Might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 4 girls. Sayora, Natsusuke, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Okay. Fuck. These are terrible words to start with. So I just pick a word, huh? Clouds. Fear. Oh wow, these are... Yuri said she was reading horror and psychological stuff, so I want to go with that. Misery. Oh, shit. Oh, do they bounce when I select stuff? Oh, okay. No, they just bounce in general. Okay. Secretive? Oh, okay, so they do bounce. Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, alright, alright. I want to impress Yuri. Grief? Damn. Yes! Aha! Aha! Friday. Yeah, that one was an easy one. Agonizing? Okay, cool, cool. Intellectual. Yes! Haha! I'm getting the words I need. I hope these don't have to be in a certain order, too. Disarray? Aha, okay, good. Good. Fester? Haha! Horror. That's an easy one. Graveyard, that's an easy one as well. Anxiety? Okay. Misfortune? Damn! No! Analysis? Aha! Alright, back on track. Fantasy. No! Wrath? Ha! I hope I noticed that later that they jump when I select the word, so hopefully I got the one that I want. Hi again, Aunt Pez. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Aunt Pez. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. You're not wrong. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take it seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsusuke, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Oh, Natsusuke, you have a manga collection. I still like Yuri more, but I'm interested in your manga collection. It doesn't mean I like you, though. I like Yuri. Yuri is my favorite. Natsusuke finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! She's right. She does have a point. Manga is literature. I agree. Swiftly defeated, Natsusuke plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Aunt Pez always gives his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. I do what? How dependable. I am dependable, but I don't recall cooking or cleaning your room. Sarah, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Okay, that's fair. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. Yuri, you have nothing to be jealous of. I only got my eyes on you, girl. How come you and Aunt Pez can become good friends too? Oh, how come? You and Aunt Pez can become good friends too. Sarah? As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Well, wait, Sayori? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey! Don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So, any nice gesture from you was a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah! I won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. Okay. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? Right? She's so adorable! She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing. Small bladder I have when I drink lots of water. Alright, so let's just hop back into it. Return. Okay. Sayara and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsusuke is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. You're damn right. At the same time, I feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah! Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. That only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. She's so cute. But sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh. It's fine. If I was focused... What was that? If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I want to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious. How come you have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean... I just happened to buy two of them. Ah, I see. There's something very obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear it. Well, once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well... Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Are we dealing with cults? Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison, and while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of... It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Did it, though? Did it? Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Anpes? I mean, I am. No, it's not that. I mean, I could definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. I did not! I did not forget that Yuri's into those things. I'm like, yes, let's go for it. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals, or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be a naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Ramble away. Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writings fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. Hey, that's perfectly okay. That's perfectly okay. I'm okay with that. So, I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. That's... I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club, after all. That's... well, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slipped into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. Aw, I got the moves, apparently. Sliding my desk closer. Here, you can read right next to me. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page? Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? Maybe. I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asking me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she also second-guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like, she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscence of some of your mannerism. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Aunt Piz, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. Oh, that's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute? What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we should share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thoughts. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sarah and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sarah's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsusuke and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Absolutely none. Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Shut up, Granny. Oh, what? That's funny. You haven't read poetry at all. Granny, go away. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there's specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both styles and expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There's so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in this club gives you valuable feedback. Natsusuke can be very little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsusuke. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't that supposed to be a literature club? Oh god, cursive. Ghost under the lights. The tendrils of my hair illuminates beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by a sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm. Breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. That is beautiful. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. Your handwriting is perfect. I just can't read. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. That's because I'm terrible at reading cursive. Well, I just don't read script very often. There, not cursive, script, quote unquote. I actually think your handwriting's pretty. That's a relief. Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghost Yuri? Uh-huh. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Aunt Pez. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experience in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of a poem is only being symbolic compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought about that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this. but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Aunt Pez. Aww, me too. Oh, so I get... Okay, so I get to share my poem with everybody. I thought I only got to pick once. Okay. Tsunatsuke. Aunt Pez, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer! Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. You all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about. Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it. You're right. I do find that dumb. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. You're absolutely right. I don't. Don't lie. I don't like it. What? Just be honest. I am. I'm not. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Because I don't. Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. Okay, you got a fair point. Okay, yeah, you got a fair point there. So people don't even take my writing seriously. Okay, but isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. The other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from a youngest one here, did you? Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Hello, Aunt Pez. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring them up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'd be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Aunt Pez. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Aunt Pez. I was going, ooh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagination and symbolism? Yeah, that's why I did that. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuisance. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about it. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learning by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of style, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Right. I'm not impressing anybody at all. Anyways, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Oh wow, this is a long one. Hole in the wall. It couldn't have been me. See, the direction the speckle protrudes. A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No! I can't see. I reel blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas! Already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything, a hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words in lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Not bad. That's good advice. I appreciate that advice. That's good advice. Alright, last one. This is a good poem, Aunt Pez. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. That's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Aunt Pez. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayora. I'm not sure Sayora sees the full picture of motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That'll be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Sayora, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No, just a little bit. Can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. That sounds delicious. I need some egg and toast. Even though you're late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. I skip breakfast all the time, though. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Whew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I guess that's what I end up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayora and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuke. They're gingerly exchanging sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuke's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuke dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Oh, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. Wait, what? Okay. Okay. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant... See, this is why I was terrible at literature. I don't see the hidden symbolisms in poems. The language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. Huh. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayora liked it, and Aunt Pest did too. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. She's lying. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Aunt Pest liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuke suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Aunt Pez appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I wouldn't really go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as... Natsusuke! Natsusuke, that's a little... This doesn't involve you! I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly both girls turned to me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Aunt Pez, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She just started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Aunt Pez. To be fair, I didn't realize your poem was about giving up, so there is that. Wait! There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it also waste. You understand that, right, Aunt Pez? Well... How did I get dragged into this in the first place? Not like I know anything about writing. But whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. Yuri. I will agree with Yuri. Natsusuke. You're right that I liked your poem. I didn't like your poem at all. See? Wait. That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri? You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, that's... But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it's become something really personal. That's why Natsuke felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that I'm sorry. Wait. Why do I feel like I'm siding with Natsuke? I don't feel like I'm siding with Yuri right now. But Natsuke, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsusuke, I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsusuke clenches her fist. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped. At this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sarah, she doesn't need to... You know what? I'm going to do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without order, Natsusuke snatches her own poem from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Ew. Natsusuke? She really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in the adjacent chair. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Aunt Pez, you're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. It's nothing. Well, one more thing. The one thing that Natsuke said, about, you know, I would never do anything so shameful. I mean, I don't think that's physically possible. I mean, sure, you could make it look like you're doing it, but I don't think you could physically do that. Like, I don't think you could physically do that at free will. Of free will. Well, I mean, unless you go get plastic surgery, then, I mean, that's a whole different story. So, what thing did Natsusuke say? Really? We're gonna play dumb, okay. Well, never mind that. I'm gonna make some tea. That sounds great. Good idea. Make enough for me, that more than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay. So, my work week's kind of a little funky at the moment, so we're gonna save here, and we're actually gonna end it here, because I need to start getting ready for work. Now we're just gonna go back to the main menu. Yes. Okay, so I like Yuri a lot, and I hope nothing terrible happens to them. But I'm sure that's not how it's gonna work. Oh, this is cute. I might have to look into possibly getting some more people to collab with me on this, mostly voice acting stuff, you know, because it's nice when I can actually speak. That's the main problem I have, is I can't really talk right now, especially with how my throat is right now. But